Hey y'all, welcome back to A Dash of Gratitude. My name is Beth. Recently we hosted a dinner party in our home with a couple of neighbors and their kids. It was so much fun. I signed up to do dessert and I made this coal miner's cake and I can't wait to share this recipe with you. For this coal miner's cake, these are the ingredients that you will need. It's a very basic and very simple recipe. The chopped pecans, the butter, the chocolate chips, and the sugar are all going to be a part of the topping. For the cake part, these are all the things that you're going to need. A devil's food cake mix, one cherry pie filling. You only need a quarter cup of evaporated milk, 2 eggs, and a teaspoon of vanilla. And this is my homemade vanilla. I can link a video down below on how to make your own if you're interested in that. This cake is so simple and so delicious. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to begin by preheating the oven to 350 degrees. I'm going to start by adding in this cake mix. It could be any devil's food cake mix. This one I got at Aldi and it's actually really good. So, it could be any brand, whichever brand you like. I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Next, I'm going to add in these 2 eggs. I always like to crack my eggs into a separate bowl first. That way, in case any eggshells get in there, I can easily get them out of the bowl and not have to dig around in the mix or whatever else might be in there. All right, I'm going to add this cherry pie filling. This is a 21-ounce cherry pie filling. Again, I think I picked this up. Yeah, I picked this up from Aldi. It's the Baker's Corner. That's an Aldi brand. We also need 1/4 cup of evaporated milk. And we need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Again, you can use whatever kind of vanilla you like. I personally have really been enjoying using homemade vanilla. I just really enjoy it. And this one I made with rum, but it doesn't matter. Any kind of vanilla. I am going to take a minute and just scrape down the sides a little bit just to make sure everything is getting well incorporated. Sometimes the stand mixers need a little help in that department. So I just want to make sure everything's getting mixed. Now, I have made this recipe once before and I thought it was so good. Also, I don't know if anyone else has ever experienced this, but my KitchenAid, it doesn't seem to have like a gentle stir anymore. It's like it goes all out on the very first notch. I think it might need some maintenance. I mean, it's still working, but it's not gentle. It's like 0 to 60. I'm going to go ahead and prepare this baking dish. I've got a 9x13 cake pan. And in my kitchen, I pretty much exclusively use butter or olive oil as my oil. So this is olive oil. I keep it in a misto. And you could use any kind of baking spray or greasing element that you like. All right. My oven is almost preheated. This smells so good already. and I love a good chocolate cake. I really hope you will try this recipe because it is so good. And when I first was introduced to this recipe, I thought it was really weird that there was cherry pie filling in here, but it really doesn't, it's not the star. Oh, oven's ready. The cherries aren't the star of the show, okay? I just think they give like a nice little texture in there, and I guess maybe the pie filling adds to keeping the cake not dry. It's just really good. To me, it was like an unexpected ingredient that really makes this cake really good. From here, we're gonna put this cake into the oven for 30 to 35 minutes. You just wanna keep an eye on it. You just wanna make sure that the cake is baked all the way through. I gave this same spatula a rinse, and now I'm gonna use it to put together the topping. I've got the butter melting in my pan here. Crap. Y'all, I went back and looked at the recipe. I was supposed to put the evaporated milk into the topping and not the cake. So in a little bit of a panic, I went ahead, I added in the chocolate chips. I measured out another 1/4 cup of evaporated milk. Oh my gosh, I added in the pecans, and now I'm gonna add in the 1 cup of sugar. I'm gonna let this all come together. Hopefully the cake will bake up and it won't be too moist. Oh my gosh, y'all. I am so, this just seems so typical. That's totally something I would do. So welcome to Beth's kitchen in the baking department. Awesome. All right, the timer just went off on the cake. So let's see. It looks good. Smells incredible. It looks like a cake, y'all. Okay, I've got a toothpick. First of all, it looks beautiful. Okay, it came out clean. Came out a little crummy there. Maybe I'll put it in for like 3 more minutes. I don't think it's ruined, and that makes me very happy. All right, putting it in for 3 more minutes. The topping looks right on time. It's looking really, really nice. The sugar is dissolved. It feels smooth as far as that goes. Now you could chop the pecans a little bit more. I'm using like actual chopped pecans, but they're kind of big. So if you want them a little more chopped, you can do that. You can also leave these all the way out. Totally fine too. Your kitchen, your rules, you know. But, oh, I'm so happy that the cake is actually baked. This is looking so good. So what you want to do, once the cake comes out, you want it to be really hot, and you want the topping to be really hot as well when you put it right on top, and then it will have time to set and cool a little bit. So it's going to be perfect timing this evening for my family and our friends. All right, it's been 3 minutes. Still looks amazing.
Smells good in here.
Yeah, it does. Got a video going. All right, so I'm going to use the other side of the toothpick. Oh yeah. I think it's just right, y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna let this sit for just a moment. Hello. That girl. All right, this topping is really nice and hot. I'm going to go on and pour it over top of this. I'm pretty sure last time I made this, I must have chopped the pecans a little bit smaller because I feel like they were more spread out. like proportionately. This is kind of like, it just looks a little bit different than it did last time, but it's totally fine. Okay, so I'm gonna spread it on top. Oh, wow. I wish y'all could smell this cake. It smells absolutely incredible in my kitchen. Plus, like I said, I don't bake very often, so the fact that there's chocolate, like warm chocolate smell in here is really nice and different. Okay. All right, there we have it. Now we're gonna let this settle for a little bit. We'll have company. Our company will be here in about 2 hours, and I think that's gonna be just right. Even with the little mess up we made in the middle of the recipe, this cake still turned out so delicious. It was a crowd pleaser. Both adults and children enjoyed it immensely. I cannot recommend this easy cake recipe enough. As I was tidying up, I noticed that I had an open bag of chocolate chips and then an unopened bag of chocolate chips. And I'm just going to go ahead and put them both into this canister if they'll fit. I'm assuming they will. These are mini, semi-sweet minis, and these are just regulars, but chocolate is chocolate to me, and it's going to be fine to mix them. And I'm fine mixing them. Oh, they're so cute. Okay. And then these are also the minis as well. I just really love being able to combine things and not have a bunch of different wrappers laying around in the pantry or whatever. I just like to keep it as organized as possible. So here we go. And then I'm also going to go ahead and put these in the freezer, whether they were opened or not. I do like to keep nuts in the freezer. They just keep a lot better that way. In addition to the chocolate cake, I am also going to put out some of these Junior's mini cheesecakes. These have been in our freezer, and these are really great to keep in the freezer and just pull out when you need a quick dessert. So in case someone doesn't like chocolate cake and would prefer a little bit of cheesecake, we'll have these as well. And these come in original, like just plain old like New York cheesecake, chocolate swirl, and strawberry swirl. I think we got these from Costco. This dinner party was so much fun. One of our neighbors brought chili. It was so good. And another neighbor brought this salad. All that lettuce is fresh out of her garden. She made sourdough croutons, homemade dressing, feta cheese, and some bacon bits on the side. Oh my gosh, it was so good. Oh, and are you drooling yet? Because that is sourdough cornbread. Holy cow, it was so good. I've got to get that recipe. And then I just put out some toppings that might go well on chili. It was all so delicious. I really appreciate you hanging out with me today. Thank you for adding a dash of gratitude to your day, and I will see you on the next video.